Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It is me, Sonia.elsie here. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing something very exciting. Today's video, I have a mukbang video. And for today's video, we are going to be eating some Thai food. So all of this place is from a restaurant called Vegan House Thai Bistro. It's located in Hollywood. And it's all vegan. They use vegan meats, like they have dessert, all this stuff, and they have Thai iced tea. But today I'm going to show you guys what I got. So I got the pad Thai with soy chicken, got some plain white rice, also got some fries with 3 chicken nuggets specifically. It's what they said on the menu too. And also this fried tofu, which I didn't even realize it was so much. Like, this is so exciting. So anyways, I am super hungry and let's get started with the mukbang. Okay, so I already ate, whoa. I already tried a bite of this for the thumbnail, but let's dip it. We have some peanut sauce. Ooh. Oh, before we get the video started, guys, grab some food. I would definitely recommend that you eat with me so that it's more fun, okay? Where you're like chilling. If you're alone, I'm here. You are no longer alone. It's also, I don't know about you guys, but I can't watch these when I'm like really hungry, unless I'm also eating. So grab some food and let me know what you're eating in the comments down below. Or if you are one of those people that watches mukbangs without eating food with them, let me know what was the last food that you ate down below. Okay. Let's double dip it because I'm not sharing with anybody, you know? I mean, I'm sharing it with you guys, but not physically. I'm not physically sharing it with you. So don't have to worry about getting you sick. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing okay. I know that these are really crazy times. And like I mentioned in my last video, I kind of took a bit of a break because I just felt like, you know, it wasn't really the right time to post. I felt like the voices of the Black Lives Matter movement and everything was a lot more important than, you know, the content that I usually make. Yeah, I just, I thought it was important to take that break and just post things regarding that on my social medias and stuff. So there is a highlight on my Instagram story if you guys would like to check it out. It's called BLM, and it has a bunch of different links to petitions and donation information, and then also information on educating yourself, which I feel like is very important. Yeah, I again just want to say that everybody's welcome on my channel, you know, regardless of your race, your sexual orientation, all of that stuff. The only people that I don't tolerate are the people who are, you know, bigoted and who are homophobic or racist, you know. Those are the people that we don't accept here. So yeah, this is a safe zone, you know, regardless of your sexuality and regardless of your race, you can be here. And yeah, I don't know, I always want to make sure that that is known. If you do have an opinion, or if you think that I'm spreading misinformation or, you know, saying something that is harmful, I am always appreciative when people call me out on that. And even though I know it's not up to anybody to educate me, I do think learning is very important. And yeah, so just wanted to say that. Now we'll continue to link resources on my videos as well. So if you need them, they're there, or if you're interested. But yeah, it's really heavy time, and I don't know, just, yeah, I don't really know what to say, but I think just spreading awareness and spreading information on ways you can help is probably the best thing that all of us can do right now. This is the chicken nugget also. Kind of has like a mapley flavor. I don't know how to describe it. And And also I was just in Washington visiting my family. So good. Which was nice. But I am kind of gonna quarantine myself, you know, obviously just go out for food, groceries, things that I have to do. And it's weird because we're like still in quarantine-ish, but like not really. Like things are opening back up, but yeah, I'm just saying like before I go to protests, I'm gonna quarantine for 2 weeks and make sure I don't have the Rona. Because even though, okay, so I quarantined when I visited my family. I stayed like in a trailer outside of the house. Didn't go in the house for 2 weeks. Except my family let my cats go into the garage to hang out with me, which was fun. But yeah, I do really want to go to protests afterwards. And I'm pretty sure they'll still be going on. I feel like they're going to keep going on for a while, hopefully. Anyways, there's never really going to be a right time to start posting regular content again. I think it's just important to remember that to continue to use your voice to speak up and to continue posting things throughout your regular content as well. You know, it's not something, the Black Lives Matter movement and what happens to Black people and what has happened is not something that is just like a trend, you know, that you post about for a little bit and then you're like, okay, we're done. It's something that you need to continually educate yourself about, continue to stay informed, and continue to fight for. I bought so much food and I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat all of this, guys. Okay, let's go for some pad thai now because ooh, switcheroo. Yay. It was really good to see my family. Yo, this pad thai, it has the soy chicken. I got it with soy chicken instead of tofu, and like, I don't know if you can see it. It's so real looking. Like, oh my goodness. Oh, I also wanted to say, like, I'm really proud of the people that I follow and my friends, because I don't think I have any friends, you know, I saw a lot of people on social media being like, wow, you know, so many people aren't posting about this, but from my perspective, the people, like most of my friends and most of the people that I follow were all posting helpful resources and just really important things, and I thought that was cool. I was like, okay, cool, I have a good judgment on who I follow and who I'm friends with and all that stuff. I'm dipping this in the peanut sauce because I just thought that would be a good idea. That is so good. And yeah, I feel like most people are using their platform for good, and I think that's really awesome. Spreading awareness, very important. There we go. So I was staying with my family, and I kind of mentioned this briefly, but just for a few, like 3 weeks I was there. I had like a really weird situation happen with my neighbors, and I don't know if I should tell the story. I probably should at least gloss over it. But it's kind of serious, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm like joking about it or, you know, talking about someone else's pain, or, you know, it's just a very serious situation. But at around May, okay, backtrack. So I talked about this on one of my other mukbangs, but I've had these neighbors, besides like these few times, I did not ever talk to them or meet them. And that's just the thing with my building, like nobody really, the neighbors like I don't know what it is. I've lived here for 2 years, and I've maybe talked to 3 of my neighbors. Like, everybody kind of keeps to themselves, which I don't really mind too much because, you know, I keep to myself mostly, and I don't know, it's probably like that in a lot of places too. But I just remember my first apartment, it was definitely an apartment that a lot of like young people lived in, people my age at the time. Like, I was literally just turned 19, so it was like, it felt like a college dorm situation almost, even though I didn't like really go to a college that had dorms. That was kind of the situation, and everybody was always talking, like always making friends. I met a lot of friends through that apartment. Like, that's just how it was. Yeah, so this apartment isn't really like that. I feel like it's mainly adults and families that live here, like couples. Anyways, off going on a tangent. So, my next door neighbors, I only heard them when they were like scream fighting. That's fine, you know. I understand that people argue. Like, I personally I think I've maybe gotten into a scream fight with someone maybe like twice in my whole life. But I understand, you know, it happens, you get into disagreements, whatever, you know. So they would scream fight sometimes. Not like a huge amount of times, but just throughout maybe the last year that I lived here. And then I also think they Airbnb'd out their apartment, so like there would always be random people in and out, like tourists visiting and stuff. So maybe like, what is the timeline? I feel like the months, I can't remember like any months in this quarantine. Was it April? It might have been like the end of April. They were fighting and I could hear it. The walls are like, they're not super thin, but you can still hear what's going on. So I hear the fighting and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna listen, because it's not like I was trying to listen, but I'm like chilling in my apartment. You can hear them screaming. I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm gonna listen. So I hear what sounds like a lady screaming, and she's screaming like, I'm gonna call the cops on you, and she's screaming, get your hands off of me. And I was like, I don't know if I mentioned this in my last mukbang, but I saw this ad when I was a kid on TV. It was such an intense ad. I am not sure why they showed it. I'm pretty sure I was watching like a kids TV channel, but it was an ad of this couple like laying in their bed listening to another couple fighting upstairs. Like, I'm guessing this is an apartment complex. Like, it's advertisement. And they were like listening, and then they were like kind of shifting, looking at each other, and then they go back to bed. And then the next scene of the commercial is an ambulance pulling out a dead body from the building. And then the slogan was like, if you don't say anything, like if you don't call for help, this is your fault. Which is, I thought that was a good, I don't know what I thought. It's definitely an important message, but I remember seeing that ad as a kid and being like, it's definitely stuck in my head. Like, it stuck in my head. Excuse me. It has stuck in my head. And so, I called the police, which I talked about this on my social media, and I got a few messages that were like, you know, mind your business, don't call the police, like, if you're hearing that stuff. And it's just like, if someone is someone is hurt or is being hurt, it just doesn't feel right for me to sit there and be like, well, I don't want to be a snitch, you know? I don't know. And so I called and they came, and I thought that they had arrested the guy, because basically I called and I went downstairs to let them into the building, and they told me to go a different way. They were like, okay, just wait a few minutes and then go back to your apartment a different way so that we don't run into each other, like in case something goes down. And I was like, okay. And so went up through the back stairs, and I could see what looked like a male getting handcuffed, and I was like, okay. So it looked like a guy was getting handcuffed, so I kind of stood back, and I guess they put him into their apartment or something, I don't know. So then when I saw that they were no longer in the hallway, I went back into my apartment, didn't think that he saw me or anything. And so I was like, okay, looks like they got it solved, like the police left. Still not exactly sure what happened. So then I get a knock on my door like a few hours later, and it's the guy that had been handcuffed. And I was like, uh-oh. And so he wants me to open the door. I already talked about this in my last mukbang, so I'm gonna kind of go over it. And I tell him I'm not gonna open it because of COVID, blah blah blah. Then he goes away. So then this happens again, and she's like screaming, and it just sounds so bad. Like she is like scream crying. And I was like, okay, I am gonna have to, like, I didn't want to have to call, but it was like it was that bad. So this happened maybe like last 2 weeks of May. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna call. And this time, like, it got really intense. Like, the guy wouldn't open the door, and like it just, the police were trying to knock down the door because he wouldn't open it, and because they thought she was in there, and like all this crazy stuff. And so still don't know exactly what happened. I know the police like kept knocking on my door and were like asking me questions and stuff about what I had heard and like all of that stuff. And they had maybe knocked on my door like, you know, 6 times throughout the night, just because they were trying to figure out stuff with him and then asking me questions. So yeah, they tried to knock down the door. I'm not sure if they did or not. I just know it was the loudest sound of my entire life. So then the police were out there for a while, and so I was like, okay, you know, they're trying to figure out whatever's going on. And I need some water. I need to remember to drink water. I always forget. Just need to remind myself, drink water. So a little bit later, I get another knock on my door, and I'm like, okay, it's the police coming back, probably gonna ask me some more questions. And so it's the guy. Like the guy, I'm guessing the male neighbor that lives, or lived, as we will continue in the story, in the apartment next door. The guy who I had seen also handcuffed a few weeks prior. And he's standing like this. It's so creepy. It creeps me out. But so there's like obviously a peephole on my door, and he's standing not in front of the door, he's standing to the side of the door, like as if he didn't want me to be able to see him through the peephole, but the peephole's like fish eye, so you know, you can see everything around there. So he knocks on my door and I look in the peephole, he's standing off to the side. I'm like, what the frick? And so I ask, I already know who it is, but I just wanted to see his answer, you know, just wanted to see. Why is he knocking on my door? And why, like, why is he standing off to the side? And so I ask who it is, and he tells me that he is LAPD, and that he needs to talk to me. Like, I really think I avoided getting stabbed. Like, wow. I told him, I was like, you are not wearing a uniform. And then I didn't know what to do. I just like backed up and just sat on my bed. And I was actually live streaming during this. And I ended my stream because I was like, I really don't know what to do. And it's just really weird. First of all, I don't know how he would know that it was me that called the police unless he was listening when they were knocking on my door and asking me questions, which is concerning. But the first time that I called the police and he knocked, I don't know how that time he would have known it was me. Like, unless he had also been knocking on other neighbors' doors and doing the same thing, like, I have no idea. But yeah, that was really weird. So that night I texted my dad at like 5 in the morning and I was like, hey, not to scare you, but the situation with my neighbors is getting a lot worse, because I had been kind of updating him on it. So I had been updating him on it and I was like, yeah, it's gotten worse. And so then he's like, okay, text me when you wake up. He had texted me and then I called him at like 8 a.m. and I still hadn't fallen asleep yet because I was so anxious. I was just like laying in my bed just like, is this person gonna try and break down the door? Like, I don't know what to do, and we're in COVID times, and I don't know what the situation is between the neighbors, but I was like worried for the girl. Like, you know, I don't know. Obviously I wasn't there. I don't know the situation. Could have been, you know, you never know if it's the guy that's starting something, but just based on what I heard and like the way that he was acting towards me, like just through the door and trying to get me to open the door, was really freaking me out. And so yeah, I was like, this is not good. And after the neighbor did that, I called my apartment security. There's like a dude that comes and patrols like during the day and at night and stuff. He's really cool. I love him. But I called him and I was like, hey, just letting you know that my neighbor just knocked on my door and pretended to be the police and was trying to get me to open the door, I think, and I don't really know what to do. And so he told me that he was like, no, don't open the door for anyone not in a uniform. Like, LAPD will never knock on your door in non-uniform. And I was like, that's what I thought. Also, I'd recognized it as him. Just so weird. So I called my dad and in the morning, and he was like, you should definitely come home until things chill out. And I was like, okay. And so went home, visited for a while. And so I'd been emailing my landlord and I was like, listen, this is what's going on, or my apartment manager, I don't know. Like someone that runs all the important stuff in my building. I was talking to her. So she told me, ooh. She actually told me that they had moved out. So that was, I guess, good. So I do feel better, but I just like, I don't know, I really hope that by moving out, like, the couple is separated and everybody is safe in that situation, because it sounded really bad. So that's why I was with my family for a while. But it was really good to be with them, like, got some quality time with everybody. And especially with COVID, it was a little weird. So basically my dad picked me up at the airport. You know, we were both wearing masks. I sat in the back seat of the car with my mask on the whole ride back, making sure we didn't give COVID to each other, you know. And then I stayed in the trailer outside of the house for 14 days. Anytime that we hung out, we were always apart. Like, if we ate dinner, we ate it in the garage, and then like most of the time I was using like compostable plates so that wouldn't have to deal with like washing them in the house or anything. So yeah, super interesting to do that. But luckily, like, after the days passed, didn't have any signs of the virus. Nobody had any signs, so got to hang out with them. At least I stayed there for like 21 days. It was a long time. But yeah, so it was just really good. And Washington is so beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful place. I definitely like want to have a place in Washington someday, like, and also a place in California. I know, big dreams. Like, that would be perfect. Because I do still see myself living in California and working in California for a really long time. I don't know, I love it here, and I know that I want to get into I know I want to do more acting and like just more projects, and like this is the place really to be, I feel like. This peanut sauce is so good. I didn't even touch my rice. But yeah, so I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, guys, I am like so full. How come every single mukbang I film it looks like I eat no food? Like, that's really how it is. But I ate so much food, I swear. Every time I end a mukbang, I ate so much food, I swear. I'm very grateful that you guys watch me and enjoy my videos, and have given me this voice and platform, and I hope that I can use it to spread good. Make sure to please follow me on Instagram, sonia.elsie. Follow me on here. I also live stream every day on Bigo Live. Let me know what you would like me to eat next, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. If you watched until the end of the video, comment Thai food gang, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!